Hello, and welcome to another episode with me. I am your Multigame, and I am your host, and hopefully I will be able to teach you something in this episode. Now, this is a tutorial video, a basic tutorial on Planetside 2. It is made for people who are completely new to the game and don't really know what the hell is going on, since this game is, a little hard to understand. However, if you're an expert or just a player that have gotten into the game and already know the game, this tutorial is completely useless. However, don't let that stop you to leave suggestions in the comments below, or if I said something very incorrect that you want to correct me on, leave the comments below and I will try to correct myself and you can seem like a hero. Hopefully I will be able to learn something, and let's get going then, shall we? Let's start off with the first one. Alright, so what is it you need to know about Planetside 2 before you start the game and download it? Well, it's a free-to-play MMO, first-person shooter. It can fit up to 2,000 players a server, and it is actually very cool. It's an open-world game, and it has a dynamic feel to it. It has a day and night cycle, which is pretty cool because it can actually give night battles a pretty cool effect, especially if you fight with against Vanu or with Vanu, since they have lasers. But that's off topic, we'll talk about that later. So yeah, that's basically what you need to know. It's a free-to-play MMO first-person shooter, open world, 2,000 players a server. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a fun game. I like it. You should try it. So yeah. Now to next topic. And, well, I'll see you after the loading screen. Alright, so, when you have installed the game, downloaded the game, and pressed the start button, this is the screen you are meted with. It's the main screen. Here you can check your settings, as well as choose your character, or create your character, or delete your character, or play the game. However, when you start this game, if it's completely new, you will not see any characters here. However, let's pretend I don't have any characters, so I'm going to create a character and show you how to do it. It's not really that hard now, is it? But this screen, you might wonder, what should I pick? You can of course pick more character, make more characters, so it might not really matter, but maybe you want to know. So let's start with Vanilla Summon Team. Of course, here's some, lore, could say, or telling you about what they are. But it's just really telling them what their special ability is. Neither here or here. So I'm going to tell you what their special ability is. Alright, so the Vanu, I don't really know their special ability, to be honest. They might be more of a normal kind of soul troops, I don't know. They have lasers. That's pretty cool. They have freaking lasers. That is something awesome. I do think they also have the most maneuverable vehicles in the game. They do have hover tanks. Hover tanks, mate. They hover. It's absolutely legendary. When you're fighting these guys at night, they look incredible with the lasers and stuff. But I don't really know the special ability, so if you like lasers and maneuverability, they might be for you. New Conglomerate, however, I know a little more of. The New Conglomerate are more hard-hitting and are more... They can take a punch, They are strong and they hit hard. But they're very sluggish and slow. And their guns don't have the fastest rate of fire. But they do pack a punch. If you like that, these guys are where you want to be. And then last we have the Terran Republic. They have more of a faster approach. They have faster vehicles, not as hard hitting, but fast rate of fire. So, all factions are balanced. No faction will have an overpowered gun that can't be met against another overpowered gun from another faction. All of them have overpowered weapons, as well as underpowered weapons. But it works still. So, let's say you make this character. I want to be Terra Republic here. So I press next, and then you find this screen. Now this is just where you can choose a server. However, this is one thing you need to note. When your character is created, that character can't be changed. It can't change factions. So if you come up to battle rank, let's say 100, and you want to make a new character, you want to be another faction, you can't use this character on that faction. When you make that character in that specific faction, it is locked in that faction. Then the same goes for the server. When you find a server, the server you choose will be the character will be locked to that server. So make sure you choose the right server if you want to make sure that, well, you know, if I choose a server that is very laggy, I won't be able to do, you know, change that any later. So I will need to live with that. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna choose Miller because I like that server. Or should I choose? Yeah, I should choose Miller. Alright, so now you agree to do this. You can choose for male or female. Now, it's not really that impressive. It's 4 faces on both male and female. So, just choose whatever you like. I'm not gonna really choose anything. It won't benefit you anyway. Then you choose the character name. I'm gonna name mine. Alright, so this is the map. This is actually a very important tool in Planetside 2. Since it's an open world, you might want to know where the battle actually is. But first I'm going to talk about what color every specific faction is. Alright, so I am the red, I'm Terra Republic, so I have the red color. The Vanus Sovereignty has the violet color, and the New Conglomerate has the blue color. One thing you should note, if I, for example, I am Terra Republic here, I cannot team up with my teammates and then attack this location here. It won't work. Why, you might ask? Well, because I don't have a connected, you know, area of control. It's connected to just zones that they own. I can, however, attack this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and conquer them. However, this is one thing you should know. I cannot conquer this. Even though this one is connected here, I can't conquer it. Why, you might ask? Well, because it's not connected in the way it's supposed to be connected. You see the connections by these lines here. The lines that is, you know, I don't know, dotted, could say, means that there's the front line. You can take over this, and they can take over that. But I cannot take over this, because it is connected only to, you know, things they own. However, if you conquer this, take this, I can then attack that. So that's just something you should note. You can't go and attack this and believe you will be able to take it. You won't even be able to take it. So what you should focus on is the front line. You should go here or here. You can see where the battle is the most major, thanks to all the shiny effects and explosions. So yeah, each zone gives you resources. Now, resources is important in this game because, friends, resources in this game is very important. Why, you might ask? Well, it makes you able to buy things in the game. Of course, it won't cost real money now. It's just something you earn. So aerospace resources here, I can earn that if I have this. I earn plus 3 every 5 minutes. If I want mechanized and aeroist, then airplanes. Oh my god. Oh, wait, sorry. Excuse me. I just need to. Damn it. I just need to. Alright. Alright. Excuse me for that. Very unprofessional of me, but let's move on. Aerospace, of course, is for airplanes and that kind of stuff. So, you know, if you like airplanes, you should make sure your faction has enough of this, so you can actually buy one. Then we have mechanized. This is basically for vehicles, land vehicles then. like tanks or flashes or thunderers, basically cause. And if you'd like that, you need to make sure you have enough of this. And then we have infantry. Now, infantry isn't as bad. You can pick an old infantry character, except the max. The max you need resources for, but you can't pick any other infantry character. No, class, without needing to spend infantry points. But however, if you want to use maybe grenades, then you need to use infantry points to buy them, and they are not cheap. They cost like 50 for each grenade. So yeah, you earn that every 5 minutes. So yeah, keep that in mind when you are. And this is basically where you can see everything. You can see the map is where you can see everything. You know everything you need to know. You can see, alright, here's the battle going on. It's a battle right here. Maybe I should take that to be able to conquer this land. Maybe, I mean, that gives you 30 plus in aerospace. That is a very big number you might want to own. So that could be useful to take over. So you need to plan like this. Like, what are we running low on? We don't have so much aerospace now. We should really be good. We should really take over that, because we need to increase in that. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's very important. I think I can take this in and take that on and see how much. Actually, I like that more. I usually have that on. I don't know why it's off. And then you can see everything. You can also instant action, and this means you will land in any major battle there is, or minor battle. Do I suggest it? Well, yeah, if you're in the spawn room, I do. If you're already in a battle, it doesn't really matter. You cannot take, one thing you should note, you can take over the entire map except that place, and that place. Those are the warp gates. They are uncontrollable. Keep that in mind. So that's basically what you need to know about the map. Oh, one more thing. This is continent number 1. It's Indar. We have Esame, which is basically the snow map. And then we have Amrish, which is... it's not really a jungle map. It's more of a... it's more forest. I mean, Indar is more desert. It has some forest here, but it's not really that thick. The Amrish is more of a forest, so yeah. None of them really matter. I usually play Indar. So that is all you need to know in the map. Of course, you have all these panels here. It's basically everything you need to know here in the map that could be useful to know. That's it for the map. And let's move over to the next topic. Right off the loading screen. Alright, so let's move over to classes. Now, what do you need to know about classes? Well, of course, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes in the game, a 6th one as well. But that costs resources to have. However, this is actually pretty good. But we'll start at the infiltrator. It's basically the sniper. It does have a cloaking device. So, it's a long-range sniper or a, close range infiltrator that can sneak through enemy lines and then take over the base. So use it to its advantages. So, it can use a submachine gun if you have the money to spend or the certification points to spend, but that's one other thing. So, like infiltrator, good if you like sneaking behind enemy lines, shooting them in the back, or taking over objectives. I do believe these take over objectives faster than any other classes, so keep that in mind. It is an infiltrator. Then we have the light assault. They are the front line, close to medium range soldiers, basically. They have a jetpack, which allows them to fly, and they are very maneuverable. If you like maneuverability, that's where you should be. However, they cannot really take a punch, nor can their weapon deal super amounts of damage. This, of course, is not their real main weapon. This is their main weapon. However, I do have this one, and this is more heavy hitting. But let's not care about that, shall we? All we need to know is that these are maneuverable. They're supposed to be on the front line, in close to medium range, and they hit not weak nor hard. They hit medium, but they cannot really take. If these guys goes up against a heavy assault one-on-one, the heavy assault will most often win if both of the players are the same competence level. So that's what you need to know about that. Then we have Combat Medic. These are very good if you're new to the game. It's easy to learn and it's easy to earn certification points. They are equipped with an assault rifle. This is not their main. No need the stat. Goddamn. Fuck. This is not their main weapon. But their main weapon, their starting weapon, then is actually fairly good for a starting weapon. It's not bad. That starting weapon is not bad either, but the starting weapons aren't bad. So you don't need to. It's a good class to learn the game. It's easy to be helpful for your team since you're a medic, and you should not worry to be a medic. Sometimes I see people worrying to be a medic because, well, I have so much. I need to be so competent. I need to know how to play a medic. Not really. If you're the medic that revives people, you are better medics than almost 70% of all the medics. No offense to medics. So keep reviving people. It's easy to be very useful to your team in this. It's harder to be very useful in a light assault, however. You need to have a good competence level to be able to be good in a light assault. Combat medic, not that much. The same goes for the engineer. It's very easy to be very useful for the team if you stay where your vehicles are or where your max suiters are. You also is the only class that can throw down ammo. So, that is very helpful if you find yourself in a situation where everyone is shooting bullets and they run out and they have no engineer. That is horrible. So being an engineer, being in one of those situations, is not bad. It means you will be able to earn certification points very fast as well. So combat medic, engineer, good experience, certification points earner, and experience earner, of course. I mean, you earn certification points by experience. Now, heavy assault. These can take hard hits. I mean, they survive. These are the survivors in the battlefield, but they are slow. So they are not very maneuverable. So they are supposed to take advantage of the breakthroughs that the light assaults make, and then just ruffle stomp everyone and just laugh, laugh, laugh. It is equipped with a rocket launcher that fires unguided missiles at armor, and it works on infantry too. However, you can buy weapons that is good for both air, armor, or infantry. And I think you can buy guided as well. Now these guys have the special ability of having an overcharged shield, which makes them immune almost to any light assault weapon there is. So they are hard hitting. They are good for close range combat, and some are good for long range as well if you use the correct weapon, or if you are the person that deals the damage on the tanks or airplanes. So these are. It's not as hard being used to the team as it is to being a light assault, but it's not as easy as being a combat medic or engineer. Then we have the Max. The Max is basically a vehicle that's an infantry. It hits hard. It can be fitted with a cycler, an M1 heavy cycler, or more kind of weapons. It's basically a minigun which tears up any squads, any infantry almost there is. And then M3 Pounder Heg, which is basically good for vehicles, or I think it's good for. No, it's good for vehicles, I do believe. And then an NS Burster, which is good for airplanes. It's very easy to specialize something in all of these. You can, you can be a long range light assault if you want to. You can a close range combat medic or support or long range. You can be a lot of things. You can specialize a lot in all of these classes. That's one thing to note. So a max unit can be either just for infantry, just for armor, vehicles then, or just for airplanes. However, they are very slow, as you might understand. They are what they seem. They are big, bulky, slow. infantry vehicles. But god damn is it fun to play one. So that's all. Their special ability is, of course, to have a, I think it's like a 5-second sprint. Not even a 5-second, maybe 2-second sprint. But that is good if you want to, you know, if you find yourself in a situation where it's like, I have 10 enemies in front of me. Well, that just sprint forward and then kill them all. That works. Trust me. They're fun to try, fun to play. So when you find the class you like, you play with that class and you hopefully will enjoy playing with it. Now moving on to the vehicles. We have the Flash. The Flash is more of a specialized, it's just an infantry transport. I do believe they have 2 seats, so you can transport yourself and a friend for cheap 100 mechanized things for 100 resources. I think they're also worth 90 sometimes, but they're cheap transports. You can fit them with a gun, as you see here, if you have the certification points to do so. Then we have the Harasser, I don't know, but these are basically the vehicles, the car of Planetside 2. It's 3 seats, 1 driver, 1 gunner, and 1 here at the back. So it's also a transport vehicle, but it's a little, it can take more damage, and it can deal more damage, and it can transport 1 more character. Then we have the Thunderer. Here's the personnel carrier, the vehicle personnel carrier, and can be and this can actually be outfitted as a mobile spawn point. It can fit up to 12 people, including the driver. And you know, this is what most people use when they squad up in platoons, just to be able to, you know, spawn close to the battle and just destroy the enemy. If you think you would enjoy that, if you think you would enjoy being, you know, driving one of these, having an entire squad in a vehicle, then pointing down somewhere and just being a mobile spawn point, this is the vehicle for you. They can be very useful. If you're in a squad or a platoon, if you are a Thunder driver, you will be the most loved character in that platoon almost, because everyone loves a Thunderer. Then we go over to the Lightning. It's basically a fast tank. It has an autoloader cannon. I think it's 5-6 shots, and for armor, yeah, it works. It's okay against. You can of course change weapons, but the starter weapon is okay for armor, basically vehicles. It's okay for that, but where this shines, this autoloader, is against infantry. If you find yourself in a situation where there's 10 infantry in one spot, shooting this is just devastating. It's incredible how much devastation this costs. I think it's either 2 or 3 shots for 1 kill, but since the splash damage, because of the high explosive shots they fire, it's horrible. Being inside a building and having one of those outside shooting inside a window and your entire squad is inside that building, that driver will get so much kills that it would be horrible for everyone else. He would be waffle stomping. But they are fast, maneuverable, and if I personally can say my opinion, I like the Lightning more than the Prowler or any other, you know, specific tank. Sorry for my bad English there. Then we go over to the Prowler, which is basically the faction main battle tank. The new conglomerate, Northern One and Sovereignty, get this. This has 2 cannons. It reloads fast. But one thing you should note is that this tank is not used to, you know, siege operations. This tank is more of a long-range sniper. As a tank. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, like, what? A tank that's a long-range sniper? Well, it works. But you should not... I think it's the weakest armored vehicle of all of the tanks. Sorry, weakest armored tank of all of the 3 tanks. So if you go up against one-on-one with this against another, you will most likely lose unless you get to shoot every single shot against that tank. So keep that in mind. This can fit 2 people. I forgot to mention, the Lightning can only fit 1 person. It's a 1-person tank. The Prowler is a two-person tank. It's one driver that shoots, and then you know, thing over there. I don't know what they're called. A gunner, of course. Sorry, a gunner. So you know, these are good in any platoon if you are traveling through base to base. They're very easily. They can defend Sunderers very easily. So, you know, that is good to keep in mind. Do not drive the Prowler alone. Keep the Prowler in numbers, because that's where it really shines. If it's in numbers, in greater numbers than all of the other tanks, it shines. Then let's move over to the last thing, basically, the airplanes. Now, you're gonna be disappointed. It's only two airplanes really. The Mosquito and the Liberator. Let's start with the Mosquito. The Mosquito is one person airplane, and it's basically the faction-specific airplane of the Terran Republic. The Van of Sovereignty gets the Shite, I think it's called the Shite, and the New Conglomerate gets the, I can't remember now, I don't know. Not caring so much, I don't care, I don't remember what New Conglomerate have. I don't really play airplanes as New Conglomerate. If you are a New Conglomerate player and you see this video, please leave in the comments below what that is named. Oh, the Mosquito is... It starts with a Needler. It's basically... I think it's for air units more. It's very maneuverable. It's a very fast vehicle. That's, as I said previously, is the specific thing for the Terran Republic. Faster airplanes. Sorry, faster vehicles, but not as well armored. But it's fast. I am not a good pilot, so I cannot really give you any real hard tutorial on this, advanced tutorial on this. Then we have the Liberator. It's 3-man thing, airplane. You can take 3 people, 1 driver, 1... I think it's a gunner, and then 1 artillery. It's not really an artillery, but it's almost like one. It basically shoots down on the earth and shreds everyone. That's why it's called the Shredder. This thing is devastating. It's horrible. It's almost, I can't say it's overpowered, but it's very, very strong. Against infantry, if you look up and see one of these above you, you will look for the nearest cover. Trust me, you will run for the nearest cover for your life. Because if you're in a vehicle, of course, sorry, if you're in as an infantry, one vehicle, but you will run for your life because these things are scary. They are scary, scary things. Then lastly we have the Galaxy. These were actually previously the spawn point, the mobile spawn point as the Sunderer is now, but they aren't anymore. They thought that the Sunderer could move to better locations and be less easily spotted, which I agree on. The Galaxy was very easy to spot, but however, it can take a punch. But it can fit as many troops as the Sunderer. It can fit up to 12 people. But this thing is a fortress, mate. If you have one of these and then some air support, fighter support, sorry, you can roll up to any base and destroy everything. Just drop down troops, and then this thing is littered with cannons. It has 1 cannon there, 2 cannons on each side, and 1 cannon back here. It's amazing. But that's everything you need to know about the classes. So we've gone through, hopefully, all the classes you need to know, well, basically what each class is and how it plays. So I'll see you on the next topic. Alright, moving over to the last topic. Yes, this is the last topic, but definitely not the least topic. It's certification points. What is it? Well, it's the in-game currency that you earn by getting experience. Each 250 experience you get, that's basically, let's say 2 kills. Each 2 kills you get, you earn 1 certification points. Certification points are spent on a lot of things. ranging from weapons to upgrades in different classes to, you know, things. They are needed. You need a lot of certification points as well to master a class, as I like to call it. Basically, get all the things, upgrades for a weapon, both weapons. If you have any tool, all the upgrades for the tool, and this ability, all the upgrades for that, and ability all for the suits, you know, that kind of stuff. It's all cost certification points. However, they were smart. They did not use the certification points as a currency that you need to buy, basically microtransactions. I do enjoy that. Of course, you could argue that earning certification points is annoying because you need to buy many guns. You need to have either 750 certification points to 1,000. However, 1,000 is the most certification points anything costs. But you know, getting up to 1,000, that is pretty horrific. As I said, 1 certification point for each 2 kills. You need to kill 2,000 people to get 1,000 certification points in that. If that's the case, that takes some time. That's why I suggest you specialize in something you really want to do. If you really want to be a tank driver, specialize in the tank driver skills. As lightning here, for instance, specialize in the lightning. There's a lot of attachments. You know, ammo capacity, it costs super much sometimes. Reload speed costs a lot. Then you have all of this. It costs. I mean, this only costs 1, but it increases for each, you know, time. This costs 1, this costs 50, this costs 150, this costs 200. So, you know, it costs a lot of certification points. So it's hard to master. You want to spend a lot of time to master all the classes. So, find the class you enjoy or what you enjoy doing, and then specialize in that. If you want to be an airplane driver, specialize in being an airplane driver. If you want to be a combat medic, specialize in being a combat medic. You can of course specialize in more things, but don't believe you will be able to specialize in everything without needing to spend your entire lifetime doing it. Of course, there are microtransactions in the game. Some would argue that why microtransactions? Like, what's good for? Well, it's earned money. It's a free-to-play game. It's either pay-to-play or without microtransactions, or free-to-play with microtransactions. But the weapons cost a lot. I mean, this costs 700, you know, points, and that is actually pretty much. That's actually a lot. It's almost $1 for each, maybe $2 for each weapon, and some would argue $2 for each weapon. Yeah, that's good, but $2 for each weapon is pretty a lot, and some even cost 2,000, and 2,000, that's just horrific. That's like almost, you know, $50. Yeah, you get the point. 2,000 is way too much to ask for a weapon. It's like $50. I think it's like 25 euro. 25 euro. Yeah. You know, it costs a lot of station cash. So, that's something they did smart when it comes to business perspective. Either you know, of course, it's just the easiest cost 2,000, but either you know, spend your entire lifetime getting up to 1,000 certification points and buying 1 weapon, or you can spend money. It's of course a more money, but you know, for a weapon. But hey, we get money. We don't care. Everyone's happy. You get your gun. We get just money. But one thing they did good is not pay to win. For instance, of course you can buy weapons, but you know, that doesn't change the fact that any other character could buy a weapon that is better than your weapon. These weapons are not overpowered. And another thing that they did was that you cannot buy with certification points. Of course you can buy this, bad example, but you cannot, and this, but you cannot buy attachments for certification points. That is something I find good. You cannot buy utilities, defense, performance. I like that. You cannot buy, you know, lightning certification points, like acquisition time. Yeah, I think that's right. And that is what I like. They did not overdo it. They have a limit. It's not pay to win in any way. So you do not need to worry that this game is pay to win. I have paid for this game, I admit, but I do not feel like anyone that haven't paid, I am better than anyone that haven't paid. So yeah, keep that in mind. The reason I paid, of course, was because I needed new weapons. No, but no. I can spend my money. I am no need to money. I have a few money. I didn't buy a PC. I have some money. I can spend it. However, if you don't have the money, and you know, you're like, oh, I can't feel competitive if I don't spend. You can feel that sometimes in games. Do not worry. You will be competitive in this game even if you don't spend money. So if you're low on money, do not worry. You do not need to spend a single dollar on this game to be competitive. Of course, if you enjoy the game very much, then I suggest buy the smallest package of station cash. The station cash. Show them a little support so they can keep upgrading the game. That's of course up to you. That's the reason I did it. I enjoy the game. I have had a lot of fun playing the game, so I felt like they deserved my money. They didn't make good games, so I bought a few station cash, and I felt like, yeah, if Planetside 3 ever comes out, I feel like I have been involved in making sure that it can come out. So yeah, that's all you should know about certification points. It's basically the in-game currency. It's of course microtransactions. So yeah, in the game. So you know, if you feel like you don't have the time, don't worry. If you have the money, don't worry. If you have the time, don't worry. If you don't have the money, don't worry. Everything's good for everyone. It's a win-win situation for everyone, and for them. So, my name is European Multigamer, and have a nice day.